Welcome to a brand new season of Industry Leaders. You'll meet people with real passion who through dedication and hard work became our industry leaders. They'll share their inspirational stories of resilience and hope as they advance their chosen industry. On this episode of Industry Leaders, we'll unlock the potential of real-time provenance, meet leaders in the field of sensors and teaching equipment, also a practical idea that built a powerful brand. But first, meet the nominees and winners from the 2017 Australian Super Industry Excellence Awards. GJK Facility Services George Stammis. Industry Leaders, brought to you by Annex Media.
We have a key part in maintaining the built environment that people work in. If you have clean buildings, it eliminates a lot of OH&S issues. If you can eliminate sick leave by having the right processes in place, there's some of the things I'm still very passionate about. My parents were not affluent at all. I have one brother who's 14 years younger than me, so when I was growing up I was the only child. I think what my parents instilled in me was a value in self, and if you require something, make your own way, whether it was further education, financial stability, etc., etc. And a core value has grown with me of believing that you have to go out and achieve things in life. I started off as being a musician. I was a bass player for a long, long time. Did a lot of gigs around Melbourne. I started 8 or 9 years old when I was in that. That unfortunately had to stop because of business pressures. GJK started as a small fledgling company, and at the inception it was created to create additional income streams as a small cleaning company. From the time it started, it had 4 or 5 employees, and 30 years later we have in excess of 2,000 employees, and we provide all the soft services, which is cleaning, waste removal, graffiti removal, window cleaning. We've bundled our services to support that particular platform in the industry. My office is just behind where we are now, and a lot of new people that are coming in don't know who I am because of the largeness of the organisation, and I will wander out many times and ask them if they want a cup of coffee and just have a little bit of a chat to them, and we talk about what their future might be in the industry. I like invigorating people and inspiring them that if you do a great job, if you have some emotional intelligence attached to you, which the majority of people do, your limited education background doesn't really matter in our industry. You can really thrive and be a site manager, an area manager, a state manager, a national manager, and an executive team member. It's more about the effort than the credentials. There's one person that's here that we've been together 40 years. He did threaten to retire last year. We let him retire for 3 months and he's come back. I think it's a reflection on the organisation that people are here because they want to be. I find that really, really heartening. My biggest passion is people, my people around me, people that I work with professionally or on a private basis. I value friendships and honesty, and I try and instill that as strongly as possible within my organisation. Things will change, there will be problems, but as long as there's honesty, you can deal with those things in personal life and in business, and I do have expectations of people maintaining the morals that I believe in. I think our obstacles were making sure we could keep up with the cash flow, the growth, and probably the most important piece is engaging the right people at a management and executive level, and I believe we've succeeded in most of those areas. My particular personality is we can't fail, we have a great product, so I started very positive. I didn't feel threatened by the growth or other aspects that impact on a business. I just controlled all those issues. My family is very, very important to me. I'll become a grandfather in a few months, so that's another interesting part of life that I'm looking forward to. I obviously want the company to be in a position where its momentum is maintained and it keeps growing continually. We've set some aggressive targets around the company to achieve that, and probably the less that I'm involved and the management team are working the business on a continual daily basis and achieving the strategy plan. And that's something I'm very, very proud to support, mentor and guide into the future. And it's been a great success.
Stay tuned for more industry leaders. Next, the Insinkerator story with Michael Kellerman. For over 80 years, they've been the world's largest manufacturer of food waste disposers and instant hot water dispensers for home and commercial use.
If food waste were a country, it would be the third largest contributor to climate change. And that's mainly because most of our food waste ends up going into landfills. So disposers have that role to play in keeping food waste out of landfills and to combat climate change. I got my start at Insinkerator in kind of a different way than most people. They wanted somebody with a master's degree, and yet they wanted somebody with wastewater treatment in their background. I didn't have that degree, and my stepbrother said, "So what? Go ahead and apply. You need to go after this job." He said, "You're perfect for it." And lo and behold, a couple months later, they offered me the job, and I relocated to Racine, and spent the next 5 years working on my master's degree. So it was a wonderful journey.
I grew up in country New South Wales. From the beginning, as a little boy out the back of Moree to living in Melbourne running an Insinkerator, I think it's pretty special. I've always had this really strong feel about plumbing and thankfully an understanding about plumbing. Even though I'm not a tradesperson and plumber, I just had an understanding about it. An engineer in Wisconsin by the name of John Hamas invented the first food waste disposer. We still produce our food waste disposers in Wisconsin, the USA, and we now produce about 7 million per year. There's been a fair bit of technology put into the way they grind food and how quickly they grind and the speed, and also how quiet they are to operate.
With our latest Evolution series disposer, it grinds much finer. You actually grind fine enough that it gives the consumer confidence that they can grind all types of food waste, including chicken bones. Food waste disposers impact the environment in a positive way. To send food waste to water resource recovery facilities, you can now make clean water, energy, and fertilizer out of food waste.
If you use a food waste disposer, you encapsulate it at your kitchen sink, and it can be then sent to a place like a wastewater treatment plant where the food waste will be treated properly. And also they can capture the methane and use that for help power the plant, for example, or put it into the local grid. Yeah, that's pretty special when you think about this little thing underneath the sink. Not only does it help our environments where we live, but it helps the greater community environments as well.
Some of the obstacles in developing this project are the myths associated with the impacts of disposers. If you tell somebody to use a disposer because it's good for the environment, they're almost always going to say that they use a lot of water, they use electricity, they clog up plumbing and sewers. And so you have to be ready to have a conversation and address those myths and misconceptions. You have to be respectful of their concerns, but you have to come to them with facts.
The challenge to make a difference, the challenge to go and talk to somebody about the benefits of a food-based disposer, the challenge to go and destroy the myths that people have about food-based disposers, the opportunity to win something. It is just wonderful, and I get a great thrill out of it. A lot of people have said to us, you guys are evil, you're no good, and things such as that, and we're changing perceptions, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud of Insinkerator ensuring that we have the tools to be able to go and change those perceptions.
Leadership in this industry means that we've flipped the coin. We've turned the tables on the whole story of not just selling disposers and being a distributor of manufactured product, but as one of a steward of the environment. We are changing the way that people manage organics. We're making a difference in the way that people manage food waste, and we're having an impact on things like climate change. I'm most proud of the fact that we are continuing to bring this environmental message and this strategy to other countries.
Ahead on Industry Leaders, Paul Ryan, Aglive co-founder, gives us the lowdown on how our food can be tracked from paddock to plate with new farm software, making farm life easier, ensuring a better tomorrow for all of us. Keeping track of stock movements is one of the most important jobs you do. The new Aglive Integri Pro app puts Australia's smartest livestock management and compliance software in the palm of your hand. With Integri Pro from Aglive, managing livestock movement is a breeze. Aglive, insights over instinct.
My parents had a beef farm south of Colac, and then when I was just a teenager, we actually moved to Inverleigh. I have two sisters and four brothers, and my father actually died when I was 19, and it was a really struggling period of time, and my elder brother came and worked the farm. Then later my two younger brothers came onto the farm, and I moved out and worked for Dalgety Farmers, and so I was still related to the industry, but working with stock agency firm. I learned a lot about farming, and I think having the passion to be able to bring something back, that's really what drives me. Aglive started 6 years ago. There was half a dozen of us sitting around a table, and we had an idea to bring GPS tracking into regional and rural, and that was a technology that really hadn't been brought out to Australian farmers or farmer service organisations. We reconnected with our farming roots, talking to farmers at field days, etc. And we realised there was an opportunity here to help farmers digitise all their paperwork. The farmers were being bombarded with paperwork from the consumer end. The consumer wants to know where the product from, is it safe. That was all being passed on through retailer to the processor. The processor wants forms filled out, the industry body wants forms filled out. We could see a real need to extend our GPS tracking platform to capture data on farm, validate it with GPS that it came from this farm, add in production information and share that data all the way through the supply chain. The Aglive system is a data capture system for farmers. It allows them to use the app out in the field to enable them to come back after a hard day's work and not have to sit down and do paperwork. But not only that, the processing plants can actually give feedback along this system back to the farmer. So actually sees the results of his product in terms of eating quality, in terms of carcass yield, etc. That's valuable information coming back to the farmer to allow him to make data-driven decisions to improve his performance and to improve his bottom line. We're essentially a cloud-based solution provider to the red meat industry. We provide apps for farmers to record livestock movements, livestock treatments, vaccinations, drenches, anything to do with that can be captured on the device and sync back up to the cloud, and it can operate offline or online. We also can overlay compliance in there now. We have an integration with the meat and livestock industry central database, and we digitise the livestock consignment system. So that takes away all the paperwork pain that farmers are facing at the moment. So instead of filling out 5 forms, it's one app with one form. It's all integrated into one solution. Since we started, which was a couple of guys at the back office of a home, we've actually come on quite a journey. We now have 20-odd staff working for us across 4 other states. We have 100-odd shareholders, and more importantly, we have achieved a technology that's been licensed by Meat and Livestock Australia to be rolled out the entire red meat supply chain in Australia, cattle, sheep and goats. So we've got the solution that actually can trace all that product and its compliance all the way through the supply chain to meet the consumer needs. We were the winners of the best AgTech innovation in Australia for last year, so that was certainly a milestone event and a big tick for our tech team and those who worked so hard. Building Aglive from start-up, from scratch, from having a blank canvas to start with, it's been a really challenging environment. We have provided a solution for an entire supply chain. I think to persevere and work through all of these is probably one of the reasons that we've come out as the only service provider for the industry to move forward in digital transition. What we can do is add value and really bring them forward on a technology platform, and also to be able to bring young people back to farming. Now that we're bringing the farmer to a digital platform and make farming a great value add.
Still to come on Industry Leaders, one of Australia's fastest growing industrial automation companies, Bestech, delivering a wide range of sensors, plus teaching equipment products for university and research laboratories, as well as various other applications since 2002.
We are very customer centric and we always aim to do the right thing by them, and then business just follows. I've always been in technology. Once I did my engineering after school, I was sort of destined to get into that. I had gone in for a degree in management too, and that certainly helped me to give that wider perspective of both technology and how it's applied to business. Bestech was started in 2002. I was working with a large company as their national manager for instrumentation. And before that, I was a CEO with another company, and I was keeping very long hours. Then I got retrenched in 2002, and I think that was the motivation and the time when I decided, yep, I'm going on my own. I don't think I would have ever had the courage to sort of leave a job and then plunge into business, but that was a turning point there. I didn't expect Bestech to go far when we started off because I had no prior experience in running my own show. During the first few months, where there was some trepidation and I was just wondering, will we ever make it? Will we get there? If not, I've taken a big gamble. But after that, I think it started to sort of take shape and then there was no looking back. When a customer comes to us, we are very likely to find the right solution for them. We carry a wide range of sensors to measure different physical parameters like pressure, temperature, load, displacement, and others. If need be, we can assemble and put something together for them and do some modifications to get them the right solution. Let's take an example of maybe our leak testing device. Traditionally, what was done was if they want to check a leak in a packet, you would dunk it in water and look for bubbles. And then you throw that pack away. And imagine you're checking hundreds of packs a day and you can almost doze off. This one, you put that pack in a bag and in 20 to 30 seconds, it will probably give you, yes, it's a pass or a fail. And secondly, that pack can go back on the production line, which means you're not losing any packs in that process. It is very nice to find some nice, elegant solutions to some hard-to-solve applications. When the customer comes to you and says, I've been struggling with this for a while. Is there some way we can do this? It's nice to see their eyes pop open and say, oh yeah, is this how it really works? And that certainly, I think, keeps us going and it's very motivating. It's important that we stay abreast with the latest developments in the market, understand what the market needs, and bring in the technologies to deliver what their requirements are. In 2012, we bought another company who was in the teaching equipment space because we saw a lot of synergy in what the two companies were doing and we could capitalize on that. When we see all those students highly engaged in what they're doing and the excitement on their face when they are learning and learning much faster than sitting in front of a board or a PowerPoint presentation and looking half bored, I think that does give us a kick. I feel that we have been honest to ourselves and with our customers, and that has certainly been a key to our success. We are straightforward with our customers. We see them as partners and we work together with them and we have our discussions. We can tell them the pros and cons and then work out a solution together. And if we don't know, don't make up any answers. We have a great set of people working with Bestech. I feel blessed that it's gone so well. There have been many important people who have been instrumental in this journey of mine. I must say that my wife, who was there from day one, she's been very supportive. And then I guess all our employees who, as they've joined, they have contributed and become a part of that team and Bestech family. We have come together as a great team to deliver some very cost-effective solutions to our customers. This is something that I feel I'll be leaving behind as a legacy, where this company can today claim leadership in this particular space, and that is certainly something that we can really be proud of.